How's it going, guys? We're going to be checking out a 900-year-old Viking church. That's going to be pretty sweet. The original channel is called Mobile Instinct 2, so make sure you go check that out. Let me show you here. Well, there we go. 900-year-old Viking church by Mobile Instinct 2. There will be a link in the description section down below, as always, so make sure you go check that out. And we're gonna check it out. 900-year-old Viking church. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
So this is where I am in Norway.
Norway.
Just
all right, Norway
somewhere
reaction.
up in the mountains here, and I've come to see this medieval stave church here, believed to be built around 1130. Look at this incredible church with incredible history. I'm going to show you all inside and explain to you some of that history. Some of it kind of odd. It was kind of a common practice before it was banned at the turn of the 19th century. People would want to bury their children underneath the church. That was banned because of the smell. But this is it.
Wow.
I'll show you inside. So these stave churches, they were all built on very basic stone foundations, which you probably remember if you watched the last video of the other stave church, but remember that one was rebuilt. This is original. Very, very old.
900 years old. That is insane. And then it's like just regular basic stone foundation, and it can stand that long. Nowadays, you build houses and stuff, and 40 years later, they're falling down. At least in America, where everything's built out of cheap wood.
This is tar, by the way. These were all painted by tar to protect it. And over time, the rain washes that away. As you can see, it starts to expose the wood, so it needs to be done again. I don't know how often they get done, but but that's why it kind of has that look, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, I think that looks really cool. And honestly, the tar, that's half the reason why it lasted 900 years. I mean, tar is pretty waterproof. Wow, that is so old.
Yeah, these are, these posts are they're over 1,000 years old. A lot of interesting things going on.
That is crazy that
The woman
that could
also
just
said
last
that
that long.
if you look up in the ceiling, it's basically like an upside down boat. And they knew from their ships, they knew that if they made a roof the same way that they made their boats, that since the boats float, that it would make a great roof. So basically, that design, you're looking at kind of an upside down old ship. I mean, it wasn't ever a ship, but it's the same construction, the same design.
That's cool. And it makes sense too. It's like, okay, well, the boats float. So if you put it upside down, it's clearly going to be a waterproof seal for a roof. I can't read that. I don't know what that says. That's just so. I wonder if that's original paint.
In the middle here is actually a grave, a tomb. It was someone high up in the military. It was his wife that he had entombed here.
Why? In the middle of the church? It's weird.
These sections here, some of them were shutters, but then these old sections here, this was all original floor.
Oh, wow.
Again, from, 1100s. Most people believe that these pegs were, they hung tapestries at some point. That's what the people believe, the historians here.
It could have been.
Yeah, these
You know, I'm not a historian, so who am I to say it's not that, right?
shields up here, they were like very wealthy people, wealthy families from different countries, even, I believe,
That is cool.
that maybe stayed here for a time or whatever.
Not gonna lie, those shields kind of look small, don't they?
So there's very few of these stave churches left, but I believe this one in particular is the only one that has the partition between the altar up there and where people would sit. I'm not sure why. There was never a door here. It was open, but for some reason they had it somewhat walled off.
Very interesting.
So one of their crown jewels, I mean there's a bunch of them in here, but one of them are these murals up here. I believe they were from the 1300s. So this is still on some sort of a tapestry, hand painted and believed to be, like I said, 1300 years old.
Wow.
You can see Jesus, his head is on the very top there, and you can see Jesus being born. A bunch of other ones that I don't remember that the lady was telling me. So that's the king, and that's the queen. The king looks pretty mad though. And that's Jesus up there. Okay.
Zeus.
Yeah, so Jesus is watching everybody. This dude is watching you too. He's mean mugging you.
Yeah, he is. He's staring through my soul.
This is 3 different languages. At one time, Norway had 3 different languages. I think now they really only use 2.
Okay.
But basically, this was created before school even existed. So it's thought that the priest would give the sermon in different languages, and then the people probably learned how to read by being able to identify with, the words, with what he said. I guess he would say it in 3 different languages.
Okay.
So I guess
Now, if there was 3 different languages in Norway, though, why would that one area be used in the 3 languages? Because languages are region based, right? So why would that one church in that one little area, that one region, why would there be 3 different languages that have access to that one region? You'd think that that one area would just be an isolated language, but I don't know. I don't know much about this stuff.
something really interesting for you. This door right here. It's a door, it's a window, whatever, but what do you think that was for? Now,
I think that was for protection, for watching out, right? To like look through and you maybe shove a sword through if somebody bad's coming through. I don't know.
there's all kinds of ideas and guesses, but the woman who was showing us around said that this was made for people who had leprosy, who couldn't come in this church, so they could still look in and they could hear the sermon.
Ah.
And there's actually some holes too that maybe possibly they could put their ears next to or look through. They would basically just stand around in there.
Leprosy.
Now she thinks it also could have been if people were very poor. Maybe they didn't have the money for donations to the church, or they didn't have the right clothes. But that was just her idea. It's believed that it was for people with leprosy. So this church, in some ways, is still in use today.
Really?
They still use the cemetery outside. They don't do funerals here because it's very small. The doors are very narrow. You have to kind of step in. But I believe there are some services that are held here.
That's crazy. You got a building that's about 1,000 years old and it's still in use today. You don't see that often. I mean, you do in Europe and Scandinavia, but not around here. We don't have buildings that old anyways. I mean, obviously our country's not that old, and anything that would be 1,000 years old would have been from the Native Americans, which most of that stuff's been decimated and destroyed.
Related to St. John. I don't know how many or how often, but probably at least once a year they do something here. They do
Very cool.
certain concerts sometimes.
Now, how many people that's actually watching this video right now, my viewers, how many of you guys have been here? Let me know, because that'd be very cool to know if one of my viewers have actually been to this place.
And then they do weddings, which who wouldn't want to get married in this awesome church? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That would be totally cool. And I almost have like the Viking hair for it too. Like Vikings had dreads, a lot of them did. So
this back wall, that's right. So she said that this back wall or the side wall was painted at one time, and there you go. It just has
a little bit
just
left.
See a little bit of the mural with the trees.
Some trees. Yeah.
Look at
Jinx.
this walk. That is awesome.
That's solid. Is there earthquakes in Norway? Because that would definitely cause some issues. Another porthole. His camera didn't want to focus very good going through there. Look at that layers of tar. You can see it like crackling. Look at that. That's just layers upon layer.
So there you go. The Hopperstad Stave Church.
Hopperstad.
One of only 28 left.
Oh, wow.
And hopefully it stays that way for a while, because these are amazing. They're incredible to see.
I mean, it's been there 900 years. As long as people take the time to preserve it, you know, add that extra coat of tar every now and then, like he was talking about, to, you know, preserve the wood, you know, limit the foot traffic so that there's not too many people in there at a time causing damage and stuff like that. And it should last. It should last another 900 years.
And no nails, no glue, just dovetailed together, put together like this.
Wow.
Incredible. All right.
Crazy.
I'm gonna go get some lunch at this beautiful area down here, this town. See you in the next video.
Hey, that was actually that was really cool. 900-year-old Viking church, guys. This comment says, what we got? My husband is Swedish. I'm an American woman who grew up in Southern California. Been married to my husband for 25 years, living with him in Sweden. His mother's family were Norwegian. We visit Norway frequently, and this church has overwhelmed me with awe each time we have been there. So that person's been there. That's very cool. Viking ancestry. Yeah, this person's family came 1860. The place they're from is called Osvach. It's in an area called Essenen. I'm very proud of my Viking ancestry. Yeah. Amazing that a 1,000-year-old building stands strong without sagging or restoration. That is very true. All right, guys. Well, that was a 900-year-old Viking church. You guys have a super fun, awesome time, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye.